Two Irish horses, a 10-year-old and an 11-year-old, one crippled with arthritis, dominated the finish last year, dominated the anti-post list this year. What's happened to the British 2-mile chase division, Anthony?
Well, it was quite good, but Masterminded and those horses have sort of had better days. No, I mean, to be fair, I think Size in Europe wins this by default because I think it's a very weak champion chase. I think Big Zeb has been a good horse, but as you just rightly said, he's 11 years old and he's a bit long in the tooth now. You look rest of it. I mean, I know they like Old Finian's Rainbow, but he's done a lot of people's dough, hasn't he, over the time, and he just doesn't quite find it up the hill, perhaps. The rest of them, God, what else is going to run? I mean, Paul's going to run Corto Stone, but he said he'd never run him back at 2 miles after the Tingle Creek, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, Size in Europe, of all these hot favourites for this for the festival, I would have sort of thought Size in Europe's the most certainty. He's not the best of the main hot favourites. He's just, I think, that through default, I think he just wins it. Tom, you agree with that or disagree?
It's hard to find an alternative. I know you're going to bring up Philip Hobbs and wishful thinking, so I'll get in before. If he could return to the form that saw him beat Willie's horse at Punchestown, giving her 2 stone, nearly, wishful thinking, he'd have a massive chance, but he has shown absolutely nothing. Davey's a big fan of wishful thinking, aren't you, from his point-to-point days? But for me, it's all about Sizing Europe.
Okay, Sizing Europe for Anthony, Sizing Europe for Tom. Davey?
Yeah, the one thing you have to remember is Colin Murphy is lethal to get a horse ready for one day, and you must factor that into it. But at the same time, it's going to be extremely hard to beat Size in Europe. He has everything really. I don't think it'll be by default. I think it'll be on ability that he'll win the Queen Mother. I think he's a worthy champion. He's worthy favourite, and I think he's probably a solid bet at what. Even money, I think you know your risks are narrowed down. There's not going to be many runners. There's going to be plenty of pace in it. Touch wood, he's a sound jumper. Course and distance winner, he ticks all the boxes. Okay, thanks, Davey. Willie, you're a good old servant, Gold and Silver, no longer with us. When a cracker in this last year. I don't think you have a representative this year.
Blazing Temple's there, but I think I'd prefer a runner in the Ryanair. I can't see anything beating Sizing Europe. I think Big Zeb has too much ground to make up after the last day.
And Paddy, would you agree with that? Is it a bit of clean sweep for Sizing Europe?
No. I don't think I'd overly rely on Sizing Europe. He gets beat too often for my liking. He went and won in Cheltenham last year, and there's no doubt, and it was very impressive. But then he came to Punchestown, and Big Zeb turned it around with him. I think Big Zeb and Sizing Europe, they've met, I think 5 times over fences, and Big Zeb is 3 for Sizing Europe's 2, I think. Big Zeb is 5 to 1. You can back him each way. You're getting even money about Big Zeb being in the first 3. There isn't 3 runners in it when you look at the race. He looks solid gold each way. He's just too short Sizing Europe. He's flopped before. I mean, he flopped in a champion hurl, and I wouldn't like to tell you what I had on him that day, but I can't ever forgive him for that. I just have to take him on again.
And for the lads in the house here tonight, any special price Sizing Europe, Buddy?
Well, we're already top price evens, but sure, go on 5 to 4.
Ah, come on, 5 to 4.
Jeez, Johnson, there's a recession on.
These people have driven all over the country to be here tonight. You're offering 5 to 4.
We go 6 to 4 for 100 quid.
6 to 4 to €100. Down again at the new betting shop office at the back here. Excellent, thanks folks. So 4 for Sizing Europe and 1 lay in the Queen Mother.